It has everything to do with that other person and what they are perceiving and how they are feeling in that moment and the thoughts that are going through their head. It had absolutely nothing to do with me. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are doing great. I'm doing fine. Okay, so before we get into today's video, I want to start us off with some deep breaths. Let's breathe in and breathe out. Let's breathe in and breathe out. One more time. Let's breathe in and breathe out. So today we are going to be talking about the second agreement in the book, The 4 Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. This book right here. I'm going to leave this book in the description below. I also left it in the description of the last video I posted. So we're going to be talking about the second agreement. So the second agreement is don't take anything personally. And that really made a difference. And it made me have to analyze myself because I had a tendency of taking everything personal. Like I have this awful habit of constantly overthinking, and it has been very detrimental to me. But overthinking caused me to take literally everything a person says or a person does personally. It started making me believe things that weren't true or weren't there. It started making me really think like, what the heck is even going on? Like, why am I thinking that when that doesn't equate to that, you know? But see, I don't believe I'm the only one. I believe we all have a tendency to take everything personally. So this entire chapter, I was literally like, dang, that's me.
That's me. Like, I do that. I take everything personally.
This book is really helping me to not do that. So I'm going to read an excerpt. So this is on page 50. It reads, "It is not important to me what you think about me, and I don't take what you think personally. I don't take it personally when people say, 'Miguel, you are the best.' And I also don't take it personally when they say, 'Miguel, you are the worst.' I know that when you are happy, you will tell me, 'Miguel, you are such an angel.' But when you are mad, you will say, 'Oh, Miguel, you are such a devil. You are so disgusting. How can you say those things?' Either way, it doesn't affect me because I know what I am. I don't have the need to be accepted. I don't have the need to have someone tell me, 'Miguel, you are doing so good,' or 'How dare you do that?'" When we think about not taking things personally, we tend to think about the negative things, but I personally never thought about the positive things. Like if someone, says, "Oh, you're so pretty," it's really something inside of them that led them to say that or led them to think that. That doesn't necessarily mean that that is the reality. And the same goes for the negative. If someone says, "Oh my goodness, you talk too much," it has nothing to do with the amount that I am talking or I am speaking. It has everything to do with that other person and what they are perceiving and how they are feeling in that moment, and the thoughts that are going through their head that led them to say that and led them to think that. It had absolutely nothing to do with me. And I actually heard this a while back. I was watching an interview with Kevin Gates and Drika Gates. I love them. They were talking about, Kevin's behavior. And I really feel like this is an amazing interview to watch because that also helped with my spiritual process. They were talking about Kevin's behavior, and Drika said what he does only hurts him. When someone does something that affects you, we like to think, oh my goodness, you did that to me. But honestly, you did that to yourself. You put someone you loved in jeopardy because of what you were dealing with, because of the emotions you were going through, because how you perceived it. That has nothing to do with me. None of my actions led you to do that. So I don't have to feel the negative effects or any negative emotions because of your actions. So that was very profound. And then I related that interview to this because I was like, dang, that's the same thing. And I heard it last year or the year before, but I didn't really grasp it until I was reading. And Miguel really went into detail expressing how it doesn't matter. It does not matter how anyone else perceives you. It doesn't matter what anyone else says to you, neither good nor bad, because it has nothing to do with you. I realize that a lot of us, look for validation in other people. And I used to be really bad at that because I think if they're not complimenting me, then I must not look good today, or I must not have given a good presentation, or whatever the case is. But someone's affirmation does not dictate how well you are doing in your own life. The only person's validation that really matters is yours. But sometimes, as Miguel goes on to say, sometimes even the things we think in our mind aren't necessarily true. And we have the right to reject or accept the narratives that we make up in our own mind. So say if we have been going really hard, like in the gym and actually getting things done that we want to get done, but our mind is still telling us you have to do more or you're not doing enough. We have the right not to take that personally. We have the right to reject that and say, actually, I am. We don't have to accept anything. Only things that we believe are true. Honestly, about ourselves at least. So if we believe we're beautiful and the entire world thinks we're not, we're beautiful. Why? Because we believe so, and that's the narrative that we accept. I feel like this has really shown me so much, and I wanted to dive into expectations. While I was reading this chapter, I realized that I was taking my expectations and putting them on people, but I was also having other people put their expectations on me and feeling like I'm a failure if I do not live up to that. So I started to analyze my relationships in life, my romantic relationships, my friendships, my family, my relationship with my siblings, and all of that. And I realized that I have been unfair. I have been unfair to myself and to them, because with every relationship, there has been a time that I have put unfair expectations on them, and I took it personally when they couldn't meet those expectations, and vice versa. And we do this subconsciously because we expect the people that we care about to do what it is that we need out of them. And that's not necessarily fair, because no one ever asked to have anyone else's expectations put on them. No one ever said, I want to meet your expectations. And if you do, I think you need to reevaluate that, but I'm not here to judge. It is what it is. But we can only live up to our own expectations for ourselves. And sometimes we can't even do that. Sometimes we put unfair expectations on ourselves and we take it personally when we fail at these high expectations that we may not be in the right spot in life to accomplish. So I realized there's this back and forth, like in a romantic relationship. If I want my significant other to do the dishes and my significant other is tired and they don't do the dishes, who am I to take it personally that they don't feel like doing something just because I want them to do something? It is a-okay for someone to put themselves above another person's expectations. Maybe my significant other values their sleep more than they value doing the dishes at the time. And that's okay because they never said, I feel like doing the dishes. And so I can't really get offended when they don't. And it's the same back and forth. We put ourselves and we put the people we love in this box saying, if you do this for me, that means you love me. If you don't, that means you don't. Like, we're constantly taking everything so personally. And it's just not me, but it's the people around me. It's these relationships. People do things out of the kindness of their heart, but we shouldn't expect them to do things just because we ask, or just because they love us, or just because we love them. And if our expectations can't be met, that is when we either, one, accept that they can't meet our expectations right now, and see if we can evaluate a way where we can work it out. How can we work together? What can you do? What are you willing to do today? What mind space are you in? Or if the expectation that you have out of a partner is very, very necessary and very, very important to you, and your significant other cannot reach that, do not get upset at them because they didn't ask for that expectation to be placed on them. Just move on to someone who is what you're looking for in a partner, you know? So I feel like we put a lot of pressure on ourselves, and I feel like because we put pressure on ourselves, we put a lot of pressure on the people around us. And when we fail and when other people fail, that is when we start to take that failure personally and we start to take it to the heart. But I'm going to read another excerpt. So Miguel goes on to say, no, I don't take it personally. Whatever you think, whatever you feel, I know is your problem and not my problem. It is the way you see the world. It is nothing personal because you are dealing with yourself, not with me. Others are going to have their own opinion according to their belief system. So nothing they think about me is really about me, but it is about them. That is a very prominent paragraph because honestly, I see in the world that we are always, battling or correcting something or someone's beliefs. Like there are religions who go against each other when really we all want the same thing. We just want to be the best version of ourselves. And there are races that go against each other. There are girls who compete with each other and men who compete with each other. I see there's this battle between women and men constantly, and the different races constantly. And so people have different beliefs. That is true. And there are some things that is just very problematic because they are harmful to other people. But when it comes to basic beliefs that harm no one, what is the point of arguing? What is the point of getting offended? Because you having your own set of beliefs or your own view, whether I agree with that view or not, has nothing to do with me. We are all living individual lives. There are things that we've lived through and gone through that other people may have not. Each of us have our own unique experience. So everything, our thought process, the way that we love, the way that we work, everything is unique to us. And so what someone else has to say is not really important, nor does it really affect you, especially if it is negative and doesn't align with what you believe. If you don't believe something that the next person does, how can you take it personally? It's their belief, their thought pattern, their life that led them to have that belief. It has nothing to do with you. It's a very individualistic thing. A person's belief, person's religion, a person's spirituality, a person's philosophy, all of that is very unique and very individual, and it has nothing to do with anyone else except that person. There are people who can live the exact same life or go through the exact same childhood experiences who come out of those experiences with two completely different perspectives on it, because everything is so individualistic. So really, it has absolutely nothing to do with anyone else. If I decide to wear my hair a certain way, that doesn't have anything to do with anyone aside from me. Genuinely, if I decide to call someone ugly, that is probably because I'm feeling insecure, or I'm not in a good mood today, or I'm irritated. There has been plenty of times where someone said something to me on a day that I was irritated that I reacted negatively to, when if they had said that exact same thing, I would have acted a completely different way. This just proves that what someone else says or does isn't the issue. The issue is what's going on inside of me that made me say what it is that I said in reply. Because my reaction would have been different the other day. So that means that what the other person said had no real effect on how I responded. It was just me. It was just the mood that I was in. It was just my thought patterns that caused me to respond that way. So knowing that about myself, knowing how my mood changes and my thoughts change, that has allowed me to not take anything personally. I don't know what your thoughts are on this subject, and I don't know what you went through, regarding this topic. So your reaction isn't a reflect on me. It's really just a reflect on you, your life, your prerogative, everything about you. So I can't really take anything positive because, like Don said, when you are happy, you'll say I'm an angel. When you're mad, you'll say I'm the devil. So I can't really contribute to any of that. And I want us all to start implementing this in daily life. I feel like because we take things so personally, we are so hard on ourselves and other people, and that can really contribute to us constantly being in a state of anxiety, overthinking, or constantly being mad or irritated. That lady cut me off in traffic because she just wanted to be rude to me. No. She was running late for work. It had nothing to really do for you. She doesn't know you. Or another example, the person at McDonald's has an attitude because she doesn't like what I'm wearing, or because I put my money on the counter and didn't put it in her hand. No, she has an attitude because she's up early in the morning and she may not be a morning person. It could be any reason, but I promise you, even if that person said it was because of you, it's not. It's because she's already irritated, and maybe that is the reason that she got an attitude with you. Something inside of her already caused her to be irritated. Now, I hope I'm not ranting because I feel like I am, but I hope you guys get the picture. Because once we stop taking things personally, we will actually realize and see people for who they are. And we'll see ourselves for who we are. We won't constantly think that the world is against us all the time because of an attitude someone caught. Like, sometimes that person is just irritated. Sometimes, for whatever reason, they don't like you. But that has nothing to do with me. That has to do with what they are looking for in a friend, what characteristics they align with. It don't have anything to do with me. I like me, and that's all that matters. So I want to end this video off by saying that I feel like we should all take Ruiz's advice and not take anything personally. Because truthfully, nothing that anyone else does can be personal. Once we stop taking things personally and we actually start seeing things for what they are, then we can live a more happy and fulfilled life. I hope you guys got something from this video. I hope you guys will go forth and not take anything personal, or try not to take anything personal. Remember that we are only speaking positivity in our lives, so we are being impeccable with our word, and we are also not taking anything personally. Okay, I love you guys, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you guys have any questions, leave them down in the comment section. Okay, I love you. Stay beautiful.